Hello and welcome back, or if this is your first time watching, welcome. My name is Philocalix. I like to play Sims 4 and also build. So today we're doing a speed build and it's a big one. It's a big Craftsman farmhouse kind of style for a family, and it ends up being a 4-bedroom and 3.5 bathroom house, which I furnished for a couple or single parents with a teen and then a child or a teen again and a toddler, which could also be an infant. You just have to change out the crib if that's what you want to, and obviously you could start with a baby and then have them grow up and that room is ready. And I imagine the teen being a girl who is really into pink. Everything is pink and cute. And then child, their room is kind of a blue greenish color, and it's probably for a girl, but it could also definitely be for a boy, and they're into crafts. And then the toddler room is mainly yellow, so it's very gender neutral, yellow and green, so you could have whatever gender you want. Obviously you could have any gender you want for any room, but that's kind of what I had in mind. And we're working on a shelf. Like I said, it's a pretty big one. It also uses a lot of black, so I'm sorry for that. It's not the most download friendly house probably, but it's a really cute house, or at least I think so, and very functional, has a lot of skill building options. And we're starting with kind of imagining the floor plan. It's gonna change a bit because I had a hard time figuring out how I wanted it to be. I wanted to fit in as many bedrooms as I possibly could, but also have a lot of skill building options, like I said. So I was kind of struggling with how I wanted it to be, and I also hadn't really thought out how I wanted to be, how I wanted the exterior to be, like the backyard and stuff. So I ended up wanting to have a door to the backyard besides just the front door, and change around the kitchen a little bit. But we're getting pretty close, I think, to the floor plan, or at least how I'm starting to furnish the interior. I was also kind of trying to make some kind of attic. I know there is some ways to have functional attic with a slanted roof, but I couldn't really figure it out, even though if I had planned to do it at first, like from the beginning, it would have been so easy. But because the roofing was a bit complicated as it was, it wasn't really possible to do it anymore later on, or at least I couldn't figure it out. But that's okay, we have plenty of rooms. Like I said, 3 or 4 bedrooms, and we have 2 bedrooms that, or not bedrooms, but rooms that function as kind of offices. One that is mainly focused around crafts, and one that has just a desk and a computer. And we also have a garage, which you can see I used the garage door, I think, from City Living. I believe you can put graffiti on it, but I'm not sure. I've never really used it, so I don't know if there's any gameplay centered around the door. But I use that for garage, and in the garage I have a we used a archaeology table, one of those science tables for kids, and 2 home gym things. I think we've got the treadmill and that sort of, I don't know what it is, like weight lifting thing. We also have the boxing bag outside. We also have a woodworking table. We have the flower arranging table. We have chess table. We have 2 easels for painting. So it's not gonna be hard to find a hobby while your Sims are living here, because there's tons and tons of options. We also have those gardening plots that come with cottage living, so you can have the big crops, but you can also just put regular crops in there. So like I said, tons of options. And we also end up having the water collector and those windmills, so you could lower the bills using those. I don't think this house is gonna be completely functional off the grid, because, well, it's a big house, clearly, so it's probably not gonna be possible to do that. But if your Sims are not that into all the skill building objects I placed, you could, if you have an even bigger family, change those rooms to be extra bedrooms. You could definitely change the garage to be an extra bedroom, because downstairs there is a laundry room slash toilet room. That's the half bathroom that I mentioned, and you could make that be a full bathroom by just placing a shower there. So you could easily have the garage become a bedroom or a guest room, and you could also change the two office like spaces to be extra bedrooms, but those are pretty small, I believe. I think one of them is a 3x3 room, and one of them is a 3x4 room, I think. So those are pretty small, but you definitely could if you wanted to, so that's always an option. And right now we're furnishing all the rooms. This is the toddler room that I mentioned with the yellow, and it has a Jack and Jill with the blue like bedroom that's meant for a child but could also be for teen. And I used these lights with slides on them. I think they're from the free holiday pack. I thought they were kind of cute, and I never really use them, I think, so I thought that would be fun to use. So as you can see, we're furnishing this room, and it has a bedroom, it has a wardrobe, it has a little reading chair, it has everything your sim could need. It also has a desk to do some homework if it's a child or teenager. And now we're moving on to the main bedroom, the master bedroom for the parents or single parent. And also a bit of a blue and yellow theme, and I ended up putting 2 places for clothes because, well, I just didn't really know what to use. Like, we have the double bed, and we also have later on 2 chairs to sit, so this is kind of the final layout, I believe. That's like what I mainly placed. We will also be adding a mirror later, and I thought it would be cute to have some makeup stuff on the ground next to the mirror, because I think that's such a thing for women to do their makeup on the floor with their mirror. As you can see, that's where I put the makeup. So I feel like that would make it a little bit more realistic and look lived in. But you could move it, because I'm not sure if it's in the way of using mirror if you want to, though. There are plenty of mirrors here, because I believe that all the bathrooms have big mirrors, and there's also going to be more mirrors downstairs, so you're not going to be lacking in mirrors, I believe. So we're gonna finishing up the main bedroom, and we're moving on to the teen bedroom. Like I said, a lot of pink. I was kind of having a hard time figuring out how I wanted the layout to be, because I did really want to have a double bed, so when they're a young adult they could also continue to live here if they do have a partner or something, and I just wanted it to be future proof, but then there wasn't enough room for a desk, so as you can see I expanded the room a little bit, so I could place it on a desk, and I think that this is the final position of the bed, and the desk will be there, and like you can see we have one of those get together closets there, so obviously just for using clothes, for putting them away and changing our clothes, not for anything else. Wouldn't use that, no. Another full-length mirror. Like I said, we have plenty of mirrors, and I thought it would be cute to have those little chairs or stools, I'm not sure how to call them, but I feel like that's very typical in a teen's room, to have a ton of seating places for possible friends, though I don't think your Sims will be bringing a lot of friends over to actually use that, but I think it looks cute. And we're just picking out a rug for the bedroom, and I do think I ended up using this white fluffy one sized up, like very sized up, so it's a little hard to move around. If you do want to remove it, you might have to move the bed first and then kind of click the middle of the rug, but it's fine. And just some more decoration. Oh, I also found some more decorations for another bedroom and kind of switched around between these two, so I wanted to add some more decorations, and I think I added another mirror here, so in total there's 3 mirrors in just the teen's bedroom, and then of course in the bathroom as well. I didn't film the bathrooms, but I did actually end up making all of them pretty different. They're not all the exact same. Besides just using different colors, I also use a different clutter item, so that was kind of fun to figure out. And I also didn't realize these posters. They are those fairy posters, and they have cute swatches actually, so I use those. And we're moving on to the kitchen. You can see I put a door to the back there. And yeah, just figuring out things just like this entire build really. But I do think it's a pretty good sized kitchen, and it has almost all of the appliances. Besides the microwave and the dishwasher, I also put those coffee machines from Get Together. And I also thought that this was a pretty cute color scheme, because like I said before, I didn't want everything to be very basic. And I think I succeeded in that. So that's where the little coffee corner is, and I also put the tea thing there and some more clutter items. And I also added some things to the hallway, but I don't think you can see that in here. So also a dining table, and I ended up having a dining table in the living room as well, and just have a smaller table in the kitchen, so you could have multiple places to eat. But obviously there's gonna be a little bit too many people living here to have just the one in the kitchen. Though of course there's also some bar seating, so there is enough space for everyone, just not like all together, which you might not be using anyways. So though, if you do want a good tip to have all your Sims eat at the same table at the same time, if you have Parenthood, you can have your Sims set a table, and if you set a table, they will favor to sit there at a table instead of any other place. So that's what I recommend you do. It works pretty well. Now we've moved on to the living room. I wanted it to have a bit of a built-in TV situation, so I used a lot of Dream Home Decorator in this living room. I also used the Dream Home Decorator counters in the kitchen, so there's a lot of Dream Home Decorator in here. And I haven't used it in a while, but they do have really cute stuff, and it's, well, Dream Home Decorator, duh. But yeah, and I put a lot of stuff in the shelves. We have a gaming console and a speaker, which is bigger than a gaming console. I'm not sure why it's so big. And I also ended up using the Dream Home Decorator sectional sofas. I think that's what it's called. And we did a lot of yellow, I think, in this living room, which I don't do really often, but the Dream Home Decorator has such cute swatches in yellow. And now we're still just trying to decorate the entire thing, TV console, and in the meantime I also found some decorations for other places in the house, so I moved those there. And I think we're getting pretty close to being done with all the decorations in the TV console and the bookcases, and found some toy stuff, because obviously kid stuff is very important in this family house as well. And I put that big thing there. It's for I think kids playing with puppets or something. I've never used that item, but I thought it was cute and it fit, which I think is a little bit hard to manage anyways, to fit that big of a thing in. So we're just finishing up the couch situation. We're not anywhere near finishing the couch situation, because I was kind of trying to figure out different ways of having this couch, because obviously it's a modular couch, so it's nice to try some different things, but it didn't really work out the way I wanted it, so we ended up with the way it is now. And I added some of those pillows that you could get from the login rewards, so that was nice, because I think that really adds some more life to couches in general, because some of them are quite boring. I'm not sure if boring is the right word, but this one was kind of plain. I think that's a better word. And now we're working on the little skill building room, which is mainly centered around crafts. So we've got a knitting yarn bag, and we will also have a painting easel here. and I think also the cross-stitching basket. Yeah, I think that's all of them. And I also put this book here to learn how to knit. I think that's what it is for, because it was pretty expensive, so I do hope it's worth it. I probably should have deleted that. And we have the second office, which is just a office with a desk and a computer and bookcases, but a night's also very useful. And I tried to figure out a different painting wallpaper, but I ended up keeping this kind of plain one, but it does have yellow and white, so it matches the couch really well. And oh, you could see the laundry room real quick, which is the half bath room I talked about earlier, which also has the washing and dryer machine. And you also saw the garage real quick with the archaeology and the science table. And oh, I tried to figure out the flooring here, but I only then realized that it wasn't perfectly lined up, so I couldn't really fix it that way, but that's alright. And just finishing up some of the last things in the interior, because we're pretty close to the interior being done. I did add some more bonsai trees because I think that's such a nice skill building item. If you don't have season, it's just helping with gardening, and if you do have seasons, like the expansion pack, it improves your flower arranging skill, which kind of, I wish that it would just stay the gardening skill because it seems more useful to me, but I guess it kind of depends on your gameplay. I don't use a flower arranging table and a skill that much. Here's the garage again. Oh, just adding some more decorations. And I also found some decorations I wanted to find or wanted to put elsewhere. And here we are starting off with the backyard, and I have this little bit in, well, the back of the house, which will be mostly a bit of a gardening space, and then the side yard will be a pool space and a space for barbecuing and just outdoor seating and that kind of stuff. And I also try to do this front yard part where we could have a bit of a driveway, because the house is on a foundation. I put this roof piece here so it looks like it's the driveway that's slanted up a bit and it could fit a car on top. I didn't place any cars on the lot. I did consider using tool mod to have a car on that roof piece and have it slanted, but I have yet to figure out how the tool mod works. I have never used it before, so this was not the first time I was gonna use it. I might want to start with a build that's a little less grunt and try to figure it out first. And here we're putting some of those eco lifestyle objects, so you can have some or make some electricity and collect some water. And I put this water collector or rainwater collector here with the garden plots, because you can break it and then it automatically waters your plants. So I thought that was a nice touch. You could of course also use the sprinkler, which it didn't place, but I thought that this was fine to use as well for some time. And the sprinklers break, and if you break the water collector, then, well, it's already broken, so it's going to continue to give water without leaking water, because I believe that when you have the sprinkler and breaks, it costs a lot of water for bills. So, and I also had the flower arranging table and a laundry hanging thing. I can't really think of the word right now, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. And I also put bee boxes and those farm insects from Eco Lifestyle, like the beetle you could put in there, or the crickets. So that's also nice if you're into gardening, or your same is. And I put some landscaping, and we're getting pretty close to finishing the entire build, I think. Because we finished the pool and we're just finishing up some of the landscaping, and I think that's kind of the last of it. So I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. There will be some screenshots next up that you can see, so it's a bit of a easier way to see everything in a build instead of the video, because it moves around a lot, of course. So thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!